So welcome to America, Will. I'm glad you finally made it to New York.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Oh, well, I'm glad to have you, and we're going to take full advantage of your presence here by talking about some myths and misconceptions about wine. And I think the first one should be about the myth or misconception, or possibly the reality of the American versus the European palate. And you, of course, will take the European side. Yeah.
The whole idea is that the European palate, or the UK palate, prefers wines that are more restrained, lower in alcohol, has a little bit less flavour, I would say, a little bit sort of drier, not quite as ripe.
I think Americans like something with emphasis, and to your point, maybe European.
Well, I think with Europe, you tend not to drink wine on its own. You tend to do, I mean, we're talking huge generalisations now.
Huge. Let's just make them, while we're generalising, let's make them very big.
But if you
American
are having wine with food, you don't want the wine to overshadow the dish.
Right.
You want the wine to refresh the palate in between mouthfuls. Well, should we try the wines that we've both chosen today?
So I have a Zinfandel that I think is big and ripe, but it's not sweet, it's not jammy, it's actually incredibly refined, and it's made by the great Paul Draper. So this is my American challenge, is Lytton Springs 2008.
Okay.
And what did you choose?
So I've chosen this wine from Burgundy. It's by Domaine Robert Chevion, one of my favourite producers, and it's 08, which we've already said is a unfashionable year, but I think it will emerge as one of the great years. But at the moment they're quite difficult to taste. I mean, it's a bit awkward because this is a wine that needs to be laid down for a few years. So it's Pinot Noir. So it's an altogether more restrained nose, isn't it?
On your theme. And it's still pretty tight. And then a little bit tart. So what would you serve with this? Because I think it needs something.
Yeah, at the moment
fat and fleshy.
It does, doesn't it? I'm thinking of Cassoulet actually, but
yeah, that would be fat. Yeah,
I have a slow cooker at home. That'd be lovely. Yeah,
because it's not giving a whole lot right now. Right?
But it does leave the palate wanting a second glass. It doesn't overpower. Did you get that? I've still got that length there.
No, it's very bright, snappy. Acidity. It's just something that's a little bit. To me, it's a little too austere right now.
Yeah.
So, being the pleasure-seeking American that I am, I want it to be a bit more generous. I want it to, be, well, frankly, a little yummier. But
it's like a Wagner opera. You have to work at it.
It is. Wow.
And then
I try only to go to Puccini myself. I think my ridge is going to make you very happy and thus.
Well, I hope it hasn't been a wasted journey, Lettie. I mean, it's a long way.
Exactly, you've come all this way. The least I can do is have one American wine that will send you home happy.
Well, let's try the ridge because I'm intrigued by it. I mean, wow, you really get a waft of.
I'm winning so far.
American oak on there. That's.
I
mean, it's just so seductive, isn't it?
Really
it's just
beautiful.
And yeah, on the palate, it's really nice dryness there, and lots of, as you said before, lots of floral fruit coming through as well. And what would you serve that with?
What would I serve with? Steak, lamb. I could do it with even pork. I think actually this is, in the meat family. I'm trying. And chicken and pasta dishes.
You could almost have this as an aperitif. Not when you've got guests, but if you just wanted a glass of wine at the end of the week to sort of unwind.
Right.
So, have we got any conclusions, do you think?
I don't know. Have you moved closer to the? Well, let's see. Yes. The myths and misconceptions.
I think that's an indulgent pleasure, and this is something I would probably like to sort of challenge myself with.
Right. I respect the restraint, and typified by your wine and your people. But I think like this is I just the pleasure-loving side of me has to say that this would be what I would want to drink right now.
Well, I have to say I've enjoyed it enormously.
Thank you, Will. I'll have to come. We'll have to go to London and
definitely.
And you can bash my taste over there.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.